Welcome back to the channel, Thick Bears. This is Nihilo here with you. Trying something new here, seeing how this will be received. Talking about the weekly affixes. If this first one is received well, I'll start putting these out on Wednesdays earlier in the week, so you will have access to at least my thoughts on this as we go throughout the rest of the week. But without further ado, let's just hop right into it. This week is Fortified, Bolstering, and Skittish. Fortified is annoying enough with just how it's scaling right now and just how it affects the timing and pacing of the key. Adding Bolstering to that to further kind of hinder your progress just a little bit, but it can definitely be controlled and managed as long as you and your DPS are communicating. And really, this is one of the affixes that's really more on your DPS working with you and just being a bit more aware of not only the mechanics of the trash itself, because it is fortified, which means everything is not only going to hit harder, but as things get more bolstered, some abilities that can be inconsequential become quite deadly, like the spinning monkeys, for example, here, or the frost blast from the brine scales, or like here, you're gonna see a couple people taking damage from the blind rage, which can be stunned, soothed, incapped, pretty much any kind of hard and some soft CCs that you can get out on them. This specific key that I have recorded right here, I didn't really have any slows in the group. I had 2 outlaw rogues and an alley shaman. One of the rogues was a friend of mine. The other 3 people here are pugs. I just found a random key to do this in. But as you can see right here, we weren't as tight as we could have been as far as killing the trash together. And we kind of have to deal with that a little bit as it goes on. But with the size of the pool and things like this, you just really got to be careful. And as always, communication is super important in these keys. Super, super important. Especially when it comes down to the example that we're about to have here, where if you are about to kill a trash pack that might put you a little bit over the percentage on a reaping wave, which means, like, when I say that, I specifically mean if you are going to be killing trash that's going to put you like well over the percentage threshold to spawn a reaping wave itself. You've really got to make sure everything does, so then if and when, not in this case, but if and when you're going to have another reaping wave after the one that you're on now, the point is to try to not have things walking 5 miles to get to you, because not only is it going to keep you in combat, keeping your healer from drinking, somebody may be getting a food buff or something before a boss or whatever it may be. You really don't want reaping waves to be too staggered so it's taking things forever to get to you, because again, it's just the pacing and the timing of the keys with fortified is already kind of its own thing. You will spend more time on fortified keys than you will on tyrannical keys in general. It kind of depends on the key, but anything that you can do to help save yourself time and keep up the pace of your key is very, very important, especially when it comes down to bolstering. And if it gets a little scuffed, or even if you're just doing large pulls and things, at the end of a pull, either you're gonna have to be kiting or your melee might have to watch out for some certain things. So at the end of some of these larger pulls that you'll be doing this week, as I said, things can be very deadly. So it's really just on you to be super careful, be mindful of what you're pulling, how it's going to affect your party. We can all pull big all day, but if you're pulling more than your party can handle and more than is just reasonably acceptable for the affixes that you're having to deal with, that's when you get to a point of not only may you not time the key, but it's also going to be fucking annoying. So one last note on this, the bosses this week are going to be easier, but as you go up in the key levels, bosses mechanics are still going to hurt a little bit, so you just got to be mindful and careful of that. Things are still going to hurt, especially once you start getting above like 15s and 16s and 17s and getting into these higher tiers. Yes, it may be fortified, but bosses are still gonna hurt. So again, just be mindful, be careful, be communicating with your party. Having everybody in Discord is always a great thing. I know some people are still under a pretty firm mindset of, oh, it's just a 10, it's just a 12, it's just a 14, dude, it's easy key. But this is one of the weeks where I really like to try to have my DPS in comms with me, so I can not only communicate what mobs might need to be swapped to or this or that, but interrupts on fortified weeks on caster mobs are very important. Swapping targets for bolstering is very important, as we know and as I've already said a couple of times, but really just in the essence of working together. We are playing an MMO, and especially in keys as well as raid. More so in keys because of the amount of personal responsibility that's put on all of us, especially the tanking and the healing role. But teamwork is key, and it's the only thing that's going to get us all through these affixes, even in the easier affixes throughout the weeks, because on the easier affixes you're definitely going to be pushing into higher keys, but then the higher the key goes, as easy as the affixes may be, things are still going to hurt. Keys will still get cucked from the simplest of mistakes. But as we've been saying on the stream, and as I've been saying in the Discord, keep in mind, boys, we're here to have fun, we're here to work together. So revel in your success, learn from your failures, and keep on growing. I'm here for y'all every day on Twitch if you need anything. If you got questions, if you just want to come by, chill, hang out, see some high keys, see some low keys, ask your questions, and just join the conversation. We're all here to work together, we're all here to help each other out. Thank you for your time, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave any feedback, questions, comments, or concerns down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, and good luck in your keys this week, boys. It's gonna be fun. Next week is gonna be fairly easy too. It's tyrannical teaming volcanic, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Next week's gonna be a decent push week for some keys. Some keys like temple this week are still gonna be fairly easy, so just be mindful, be aware, have fun, work together, be nice, don't yell, get better, and I'll see y'all very soon.